Tonight, federal agents executed raids targeting a corruption network operating inside our justice system.
4:32 a.m., Phoenix, Arizona. The air was cold and still. Desert silence wrapped around the federal courthouse downtown. Inside, behind reinforced glass and marble columns, American justice was supposed to live, but it didn't. 3 unmarked Chevy Suburbans rolled through empty streets. No lights, no sirens, just the low growl of engines and the weight of 18 months of surveillance about to crack wide open. The target wasn't a cartel safe house. It was room 314, the chambers of Judge Layla Mahad. At 4:38 a.m., a battering ram struck the door. The building shook. Family photos beside the American flag swayed, a reminder of an oath once sworn, now broken. If you want to see how deep this goes, hit like so this story reaches more people. What federal agents found inside would expose a network so corrupt, so deeply embedded in the justice system that prosecutors would later call it the most dangerous betrayal in Arizona history. Let me show you. Behind Judge Mahad's desk sat 3 filing cabinets, standard office furniture, beige metal, locked with simple keys. Agents popped them open in seconds. Inside the first cabinet, 127 kilos of pure fentanyl, vacuum sealed, stacked like legal brief. Inside the second, $2.8 million in cash, bundled in rubber bands, 20s, 50s, 100s. Inside the third, ledgers, handwritten, court case numbers beside dollar amounts. PHXFD 2023-1847, $240,000, dismissed. PHXFD 2024-0312, $190,000, evidence suppressed. This wasn't a judge's office. This was a cartel distribution hub hidden behind the seal of the United States District Court. The story began 18 months earlier, November 2022. A routine traffic stop on Interstate 17. Arizona State Trooper Daniel Voss pulled over a white cargo van for a broken taillight. The driver was nervous, sweating, hands shaking on the wheel. Voss asked to search the vehicle. The driver refused, then changed his mind, then started crying. In the back, beneath tarps marked Phoenix Municipal Supply, Voss found 89 kilos of methamphetamine and 34 kilos of heroin. Street value, $6.7 million. The arrest should have been straightforward, open and shut, but the case landed on Judge Layla Mahad's docket. Within 72 hours, the evidence was ruled inadmissible. Illegal search, Fourth Amendment violation. The driver walked free. Trooper Voss was stunned. He'd followed protocol perfectly. Dash cam footage showed compliance. Legal experts agreed. So Voss did something unusual. He filed a formal complaint with the DEA. "Something's wrong," he wrote. "This isn't bad luck. This is a pattern. Comment exposed below if you want to support investigators like Voss." The DEA opened a quiet inquiry. They pulled every case Judge Mahad had overseen in the past 3 years. The numbers were staggering. 143 drug cases assigned to her court, 87 dismissed, 41 evidence suppressed, 15 convicted with sentences below minimum guidelines. Her dismissal rate was 312% higher than any other federal judge in Arizona. But dismissals alone weren't proof. Judges have discretion. Bad cases exist, so agents went deeper. They subpoenaed financial records, bank statements, property transactions, travel expenses. What they found made seasoned investigators stop breathing. Judge Mahad earned $218,000 annually, standard federal salary. But between 2020 and 2024, she purchased 4 properties totaling $3.2 million all cash. No mortgages. She drove a Tesla Model X, paid in full, $127,000. Her daughter attended Stanford, tuition paid up front. 4 years, $312,000, luxury vacations to Turks and Caicos, Dubai, Monaco, first-class flights, 5-star resorts, total unexplained wealth, $4.1 million. For a judge making $218,000 a year, the DEA knew they had her, but they wanted the network, so they didn't move. They watched. In March 2023, agents installed a wiretap on Mahad's personal cell phone. Court-approved, sealed warrant. Within 2 weeks, they hit gold. March 18, 2023, 11:47 p.m., Mahad received a call from a blocked number. "The shipment clears tomorrow," a male voice said. "Make sure the paperwork doesn't stick." "It won't," Mahad replied. "Case gets dismissed at arraignment. You'll walk by noon." "Good. Your payment transfers Thursday." The call lasted 43 seconds. Agents traced the blocked number to a burner phone registered in Nogales. The phone pinged off towers near the U.S.-Mexico border. The voice was familiar. DEA voice recognition software matched it to Miguel Reyes, a lieutenant in the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. CJNG, one of the most violent drug organizations in the Western Hemisphere. If this shocks you, hit like now. Over the next 6 months, agents recorded 127 calls, each one mapping a corrupt ecosystem that stretched from Mexico to Phoenix courtrooms. Here's how the system worked. Stage 1. The entry. CJNG couriers crossed the border at Nogales. Border Patrol Supervisor Carlos Ibarra waved them through. No inspection, no questions. Payment, $50,000 per crossing. Stage 2. The transport. Drugs moved north on I-19, then I-10. Arizona Highway Patrol Sergeant Denise Ochoa provided convoy routes. Real-time updates on DPS checkpoints. Payment, $35,000 per shipment. Stage 3. The storage. Drugs arrived at a warehouse in South Phoenix registered to Desert Logistics LLC. The company didn't exist. The address was a vacant lot, but the business license was signed by City Councilman Raymond Torres. Payment, $80,000 monthly. Stage 4. The distribution. Drugs moved through a network of 14 dealers across Maricopa County. When arrests happened, cases landed on Judge Mahad's docket. Stage 5. The fix. Evidence suppressed. Charges dismissed. Dealers freed. Payment, $150,000 to $400,000 per case. The cartel hadn't just bribed officials. They'd built a supply chain using government infrastructure. This wasn't crime sneaking past law enforcement. This was law enforcement operating as crime. By September 2023, the FBI joined the investigation. Asset forfeiture specialists traced Mahad's money through 17 shell companies and 6 offshore accounts. One account in the Cayman Islands held $1.9 million. Another in Panama held $3.4 million. A third in the British Virgin Islands held $2.1 million total offshore holding, $7.4 million. But Mahad wasn't the only one getting rich. Border Patrol Supervisor Ibarra purchased 2 homes in Tucson. Combined value, $1.8 million. Highway Patrol Sergeant Ochoa drove a Mercedes G-Wagon, $142,000. City Councilman Torres owned a yacht docked in San Diego, $890,000. The corruption didn't trickle, it flooded. Type yes if you're ready to see what happened next. On February 14, 2024, FBI Deputy Director Ethan Cross convened a task force at the Phoenix field office. 32 agents, DEA, FBI, ICE, Arizona DPS, Maricopa County Sheriff. Cross laid out the evidence, photos, financial records, wiretap transcripts. Then he said 6 words that silenced the room. "We take them all at once." The operation was named Desert Reckoning. The plan: 8 simultaneous raids, pre-dawn, coordinated to the second. Target 1, Judge Layla Mahad's chambers. Target 2, her residence in Paradise Valley. Target 3, Border Patrol Supervisor Carlos Ibarra's home. Target 4, Highway Patrol Sergeant Denise Ochoa's home. Target 5, City Councilman Raymond Torres' office. Target 6, the Desert Logistics Warehouse. Target 7, Miguel Reyes' safe house in Nogales. Target 8, a secondary distribution hub in Tempe. 8 locations, 87 agents, 1 synchronized strike. The date was set, March 22, 2024, 4:30 a.m. For 6 weeks, agents rehearsed, floor plans memorized, entry points mapped, contingencies planned. They couldn't afford mistakes. Corrupt officials had access to law enforcement communications. One leak and the operation would collapse. So the FBI implemented radio silence. No emails, no phones, face-to-face briefings only. At 4:15 a.m. on March 22nd, agents received one encrypted message: execute, comment justice, if you believe they deserved what came next. 4:32 a.m., Phoenix Federal Courthouse. The battering ram struck. The door exploded inward. FBI agents poured through the darkness. Judge Mahad wasn't there. Her chambers were empty, but the evidence was waiting. 127 kilos of fentanyl in filing cabinets, $2.8 million in cash stacked beside law books, ledgers mapping 4 years of corruption, 3 encrypted phones containing 1,847 messages. One message read, "Payment received, case dismissed as promised. Next shipment Thursday." Another, "Reyes confirms delivery. Your cut transfers tonight." Agents photographed everything, every dollar, every gram, every word. This wasn't just evidence. This was a complete organizational chart written in crime. 4:34 a.m. Paradise Valley. FBI agents surrounded Mahad's $1.4 million home. Lights off, curtains drawn. They knocked. No answer. They knocked again. Still nothing. Then they breached. Mahad was in her bedroom, awake, dressed, suitcase on the bed. She was running. Agents found $340,000 in cash inside the suitcase, passports for her and her daughter, boarding passes for a 6:15 a.m. flight to Mexico City. She was 90 minutes from disappearing. One agent asked, "Why?" Mahad didn't answer. She just stared at the floor. Her daughter, 16 years old, stood in the hallway, crying. She had no idea what her mother had become. Share this so more people understand what was almost lost. 4:36 a.m., Tucson. ICE agents hit Carlos Ibarra's home, the Border Patrol supervisor who waved drugs through. His wife answered the door, confused, terrified. "Where's Carlos?" agents demanded. "At work," she said. "Night shift." Agents tore through the house anyway. In the garage, they found 68 kilos of cocaine, hidden in toolbox. In the attic, $920,000 in cash, stuffed in garbage bags. In the home office, a laptop with spreadsheets tracking 143 border crossings, dates, times, payouts. Ibarra had logged every crime like a business ledger. Agents called the Nogales border station. Ibarra wasn't there, he'd fled. But his phone was still active. GPS pinged south, moving fast, heading toward the Mexican border. Arizona DPS helicopters launched, intercepted his vehicle 14 miles from the border. Ibarra pulled over, hands up. He didn't fight. He knew it was over. 4:38 a.m. Phoenix. DEA agents stormed the home of Highway Patrol Sergeant Denise Ochoa. She was in her driveway, engine running, about to leave. Agents blocked her car, guns drawn. "Step out of the vehicle," Ochoa complied, calm, almost relieved. Inside her trunk, agents found 31 kilos of methamphetamine. In her purse, $78,000 in cash. On her phone, 412 messages with cartel contacts. One message read, "Route clear until 6 a.m. Move now." Another, "DPS checkpoint canceled. All units diverted. Your shipment is safe." She'd been feeding real-time intelligence to the cartel for 3 years. If you believe justice matters, comment accountability below. 4:41 a.m. Phoenix City Hall. FBI agents entered Councilman Raymond Torres' office. He wasn't there, but his assistant was. Maria Delgado, 23 years old, junior staffer. Agents asked where Torres was. She said, "I don't know." Then she started crying. "He made me sign papers," she said. "Business licenses, permits. I didn't know what they were for." Agents found the document. 62 fake business registrations, all tied to cartel front companies. Torres had used his city authority to create a paper trail legitimizing drug operations. He was arrested 4 hours later at his mistress's apartment in Scottsdale. 4:44 a.m., South Phoenix. DEA and FBI agents surrounded the Desert Logistics warehouse. It was supposed to be abandoned, empty. It wasn't. Inside, agents found a fully operational distribution center. Industrial scales, cutting agents, packaging equipment, 847 kilos of fentanyl, enough to kill 423 million people, 1,140 kilos of cocaine, 623 kilos of heroin. Total seized, 2.71 tons of narcotics. Street value, $186 million. But that wasn't all. In the back office, agents found something even more dangerous, a server. The server contained 12,000 files. Customer lists, dealer networks, payment records, names, addresses, phone numbers, the entire distribution network, mapped in digital detail. FBI cyber forensics called it the Rosetta Stone of cartel operations. Within 48 hours, that server would lead to 73 additional arrests across 4 states. Type exposed if you're still watching. 4:47 a.m., Nogales, Arizona. DEA agents, backed by ICE and Mexican federal police, raided Miguel Reyes' safe house. The building was fortified, steel doors, reinforced walls, surveillance cameras. Agents used a breaching charge. The explosion lit up the desert night. Inside, chaos. Reyes' guards opened fire. Automatic weapons, AK-47s, armor-piercing rounds. Agents returned fire. The gunfight lasted 4 minutes. 2 cartel gunmen were killed, 3 surrendered. Reyes wasn't there, but agents found his war room. Maps of the Southwest, routes marked in red, border crossings highlighted, photographs of Judge Mahad, Ibarra, Ochoa, Torres, all marked asset, a ledger showing $47.3 million paid in bribes over 4 years, and a burn phone with one contact labeled La Jefa, the boss. The phone last pinged in Guadalajara, Mexico. Miguel Reyes was gone, but his network was destroyed. 4:52 a.m. Tempe, the final raid, a secondary distribution hub operating out of a strip mall. FBI agents breached a storefront with a sign reading Valley Auto Repair. Inside, no cars, just drugs. 243 kilos of methamphetamine, 127 kilos of fentanyl, $1.3 million in cash, and 6 dealers. Hands up, no resistance. One dealer, Marco Salinas, 34, looked at the agents and said, "Took you long enough." He'd been waiting for this day. By 5:30 a.m., the operation was complete. 8 raids, 8 locations, all secured. Total arrested, 19 individuals. Total drugs seized, 3.1 tons. Total cash seized, $6.4 million. Total assets frozen, $14.2 million. But the numbers didn't capture the real damage. Share this video before more people forget what almost happened. At 9 a.m., U.S. Attorney General Vanessa Ortiz held a press conference. Behind her stood the evidence, tables stacked with drugs, bricks of cash, photos of the accused. She spoke directly into the camera. For 4 years, trusted officials betrayed the people they swore to protect. They didn't just allow drugs into our communities. They facilitated it. They profited from it. They built careers on it. Today, that ends. The charges were devastating. Judge Layla Mahad, conspiracy to distribute narcotics, racketeering, bribery, money laundering, obstruction of justice, maximum sentence, life without parole. Carlos Ibarra, conspiracy to smuggle controlled substances, accepting bribes, abuse of authority, 35 years. Denise Ochoa, conspiracy to distribute narcotics, providing material support to a criminal organization, 28 years. Raymond Torres, conspiracy, fraud, abuse of public office, 20 years. Marco Salinas and 13 others, narcotics trafficking, 15 to 25 years each. But justice for the accused didn't erase the damage already done. Between 2020 and 2024, Maricopa County recorded 1,847 overdose deaths. 843 involved fentanyl, teenagers who thought they were taking Xanax, parents who thought they were managing pain, college students experimenting one. Every death was preventable. Every death happened because people in power chose money or morality. If this makes you angry, comment "never again" below. The fallout spread fast. Arizona governor demanded a full audit of the state judiciary. Every federal judge, every case reviewed. The Phoenix Police Department launched internal affairs investigations into 47 officers with ties to Mahad's cases. Border Patrol reassigned 23 supervisors pending review. City Council suspended 4 members connected to Torres. Trust inside institutions weakened. Citizens questioned everything. How many other judges were corrupt? How many other officials were paid off? How deep did the rot go? Those questions didn't have easy answers, but Phoenix wasn't the only city asking them. In the weeks following the raids, similar investigations opened in El Paso, Albuquerque, Tucson, and Las Vegas. The Phoenix case became the template. Follow the money, watch the patterns, trust the data, and when you find corruption, don't just arrest individuals, dismantle the entire network. By June 2024, federal prosecutors had charged 87 officials across 5 states. The CJNG pipeline that stretched from Guadalajara to Phoenix was shattered, but Miguel Reyes was still free. Mexican authorities issued warrants. Interpol issued red notices. U.S. Marshals put him on the 15 most wanted list. Reward, $5 million. As of today, he hasn't been found. And that's the part that should terrify you. Hit subscribe so you don't miss updates on this case. Because here's what most people don't understand. This wasn't a one-time scandal. This is the system. Cartels don't just smuggle drugs. They smuggle influence. They infiltrate institutions. They buy legitimacy. They don't fight governments. They become part of them. And the most dangerous cartel operative isn't the one crossing the border with a backpack. It's the one sitting in a courtroom wearing a black robe. It's the one wearing a badge. It's the one in City Hall signing permits. Because when the people sworn to protect you are the ones destroying you, where do you turn? Phoenix learned that the hard way. The FBI estimated that in the 4 years Mahad operated, her network moved $680 million in drugs through Arizona. That money didn't disappear into the desert. It went into communities, schools, families. It ended lives, destroyed futures, shattered trust, and it almost continued if Trooper Voss hadn't filed that complaint, if DEA agents hadn't followed the money, if the FBI hadn't coordinated that 4:32 a.m. raid. Mahad would still be a judge. Ibarra would still be waving trucks through. Ochoa would still be clearing routes, and drugs would still be flowing. Comment grateful if you appreciate the investigators who stopped this. On August 12, 2024, Judge Layla Mahad stood trial. The courtroom was packed. Victims' families, journalists, federal prosecutors. Mahad's defense attorney argued coercion, threats against her family, fear for her life. But prosecutors displayed the evidence. The $7.4 million in offshore accounts, the luxury homes, the cars, the vacations, the ledger in her handwriting, the recorded phone calls, the encrypted messages. One prosecutor held up a photo, a 19-year-old girl named Emma Castillo, college student, bright future. She took one pill at a party, thought it was Percocet. It was fentanyl. She died in her dorm room, alone. Her roommate found her the next morning. The prosecutor looked at Mahad. Emma's dealer was arrested. His case landed on your docket. You dismissed it. 3 weeks later, he sold the pill that killed her. The courtroom was silent. You didn't just take bribes, Your Honor. You enabled murder. The jury deliberated for 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing. Life without parole. Mahad showed no emotion. She stared straight ahead. But her daughter, sitting in the gallery, sobbed. That's the real cost. Families destroyed on both sides. If you believe justice was served, hit like now. Carlos Ibarra received 35 years. Denise Ochoa received 28 years. Raymond Torres received 20 years. All assets seized. All pensions revoked. All honors stripped. Their names, once symbols of public service, now symbols of betrayal. But the story doesn't end with convictions, because the question remains, how did this happen? How does a federal judge, vetted by the FBI, confirmed by the Senate, sworn to uphold the Constitution, become a cartel asset? The answer is simpler than you think. greed. Mahad wasn't born corrupt. She didn't start her career planning to betray her oath. But somewhere along the way, she made a choice to take the first payment, a choice to dismiss the first case, a choice to look the other way. And each choice made the next one easier, until she wasn't a judge anymore. She was an employee of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. That's the lesson Phoenix teaches. Corruption doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with fanfare. It creeps in quietly, one compromise at a time. And by the time you realize what's happened, the system you trusted is already gone. So here's the question for you. Do we demand accountability, or do we accept that some doors stay closed? Do we trust institutions because of their titles, or do we verify that trust is earned? Phoenix was one city, one judge, one network, but this is happening everywhere. Comment where next. If you believe more cities need to be investigated, the fight didn't end with the verdicts. In December 2024, the Department of Justice launched Operation Integrity Shield, a nationwide audit of federal judges. Financial disclosures reviewed, cases re-examined, patterns analyzed. 12 additional judges were placed under investigation. 4 were indicted. This is bigger than Phoenix. Border Patrol implemented new oversight, random inspections, body cam requirements, financial audits. City councils across the Southwest passed transparency laws. Public disclosure of business licenses, open records for permit approval. Law enforcement agencies created cross-agency task forces. No more silos, no more blind spots. But reform takes time. And while reforms are debated, drugs still move, dealers still operate, and somewhere, another official is making a choice. Take the money or uphold the oath. The Phoenix case proved something critical. No one is untouchable. Not judges, not border agents, not elected officials. When evidence is strong and investigators are relentless, justice wins. But it requires vigilance. It requires citizens who ask questions, journalists who investigate, whistleblowers who speak up. It requires people like Trooper Voss, who saw something wrong and refused to ignore it. That's where accountability starts. Not in courtrooms, not in government offices. It starts with individuals who refuse to be silent. If you're one of those people, share this story now, because the most dangerous thing we can do is forget. Forget that Phoenix almost lost itself to corruption. Forget that officials sworn to protect became predators. Forget that justice isn't automatic. It's fought for. Phoenix remembered. Emma Castillo's family remembered. The 843 families who lost loved ones to fentanyl remember. And they're demanding change. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Hit like if you believe justice is worth fighting for. Comment accountability if you demand transparency from officials. Subscribe so you don't miss what happens next in this investigation. And share this video so more people understand what's at stake. Because Miguel Reyes is still out there. The CJNG is still operating. And somewhere, another official is receiving a phone call, another offer, another choice. The question is, what will they choose? And the bigger question, will we be paying attention when they do? This is only the beginning. The fight continues, and Phoenix taught us one undeniable truth. The most dangerous threat to America isn't at the border. It's already inside, wearing a suit, carrying a badge, sitting behind a bench. And if we don't stay vigilant, it will spread. One city at a time, one official at a time, one compromise at a time, until the institutions we trust no longer exist. Phoenix stopped it. Will your city?